Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's great to have you here. Thank you to all my subscribers. I'm Patricia Stuart of Patricia Stuart Originals. Today I thought I would try something a little different, using the gel plate to create an illusion of a landscape. And you don't need to know how to draw. That's the beauty of the gel plate, is that you can create art with not knowing how to draw or needing to know. And so I'm going to start with some teal. I'll be using a multiple of different colors at once to make some pulls. And let's see, I'm going to do a little primary magenta mixed with yellow ochre. And first I'm going to start by just laying the teal. I'm using an 8x10 gel plate today with computer paper, but this can be done using mixed media paper, any kind of paper you would like to use. And I'm just using some colors that will blend nicely as part of a landscape. And this will be the first pull. After we pull these colors, we will lay another set of colors. It's almost like when you're painting and you do layers. Rarely do I ever just paint with one layer. I use 5 and 6 layers before I'm actually finished completing my painting. I like to have a lot of paint onto my canvas. Okay. So here we have our first pull with these colors. Now we're going to take a second pull. I'm going to use some green gold. And I'm not going to put it on the entire plate, just an area here. Mixed with that is some quinacridone nickel. And I'm just going to roll this out. Okay. I'm going to lay it back down. Now we know with landscapes, especially landscapes in the middle of nowhere, you get all of these different shades. And here we have that mixed in. You get different shades with the landscape. Okay, now I'm going to go in with some titanium white. And a little bit of some yellow ochre again. I'm starting with more paint than usual because I want to get somewhat of a nice spread. I'll lay it back down again. I remember taking an art class years ago, and the local artist who was teaching, he had us do a lot of landscapes, paintings, and I remember coming to each session, and here we have that. I remember coming to each session saying, landscapes again? And I really wasn't into landscape paintings, but he would be happy to know that I'm using it as a concept for this more figurative, you know, creating an illusion for this gel print. Alright, so far this is what we have. And now we need to bring it together. What I'm going to do is create another illusion. I'm going to use some green gold. And I'm going to use this time a very small paintbrush. So I want to create an illusion of some greenery. Some green stalks. Like this. At the bottom, and this paint is pretty translucent. I'm going to mix it with another shade of green. I will mix it with chromium oxide green, so darker green. I just want to lightly go in, creating some greenery. Nothing too heavy, but something that you would find in the landscape. Just a scene that you would find there. And now I'm going to lay my print back down. And this time I'm going to bring the bottom of the page to the edge of the gel plate so that I can bring that to the bottom. So we're creating an illusion of a landscape in a pretty quick and easy way. And so here we have the greenery. Now there was just some areas, for instance, like here, when that happens, where it just went on a little too heavy. While the paint is wet, you can use your fingers or a piece of tissue to sort of even that out. Okay, now I'm going to take some burnt umber and I want to put like a line across here and a line sort of going down. And I will take my brayer, go across here, my brayer, go down here. Okay, I got some other paint mixed in here. And so what I will do, since I want a more of a finer line, on the brown, I'll take some tissue and a napkin and just go down so I can get that just that brown line there. Then I will put painting back down and see if we can pick up a little bit of that brown in the landscape. And we have. And so we have that. Okay. We know also on a landscape you can find some hints of sun or sunlight in the background. And so I'm going to create that with a little pyrrole orange, a little cadmium yellow, and just a slight bit of yellow ochre. Okay, so I'm going to go like so. Don't want to blend it all in too much. And then I will have to use my tissue and my hand to shape this illusion of a sun, right? Of a sunset. Either it's setting or it's rising, coming up. So I will create that illusion, just like that. I'll lay my paper back down. rub that area. Some of it, my paper started sticking. But here we have the sunset. Some of my paper started sticking, and when something like that happens, you just take the color of paint that you have there, dab your finger in it, and take care of that. Okay. So here we have the sun. And now, as we have done that, we need to create the bottom of the landscape. I'm going to take a wet wipe and sort of clean off some of this, which might be sticking, causing my painting to stick. Okay, and so we need to create two more areas. The sky area and the actual bottom of the landscape. And so I will go in with some yellow ochre, place at the bottom here. I will go in with some Indian yellow. And I will go in with a little quinacridone. And so we want a mixture of this color going in for the landscape. So I'll lay it down again, and I'm bringing it to the bottom of the paper, just pressing in the part that I'm trying to pick up. We don't have any more sticky paper sticking to the plate. Okay, and here we get the landscape to the bottom. Now we will create the sky area above the sun. And I will be using some teal, some manganese blue, and a little titanium white. Make sure that my brayer is pretty clean. I need a little bit more manganese blue. some of this off. A certain effect of the sky that I want to see. Okay. I don't want to cover the sun, so make sure it doesn't go too far down. Alright, so I'm going to take just the top. And here we get the sky. Then I'm going to go back in, bring it down a little lower. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with a little manganese blue. The top I needed a little bit more of the darkness of blue kind of mixed in there. I also wanted to cover some of the red a little bit. Okay, so we have that at the top. I'll add a little titanium, somewhat of the different shading of it, just a little. Well, it didn't give me exactly what I wanted here. So I will use my trusty napkin to spread it a little bit. Okay, so spread it a little bit more. All right, and so we have our sky, and I think I will place a bit of phthalo blue to mix in while that paint is still wet at the top. This is one way of trying to get some of your blending or shading of colors. If it doesn't happen on the first try, you get it on the second. And So this is the painterly print, sort of as an illusion of a landscape. And once we add, make sure this is dry before I lay the matting, but we know that matting helps to bring it together. So that's just one way of getting a landscape type print. If you're interested in doing some landscapes using the gel plate, it works pretty well. Now, something keeps annoying me about this sky, almost as though it can use a little toning down of sorts. Let's try. Try a little turquoise with teal, rather, with some, just a little manganese blue to balance out its two it's just too blue. Okay, too much of on the, when I wanted a mixture. Just to kind of tone it down a bit. And so perhaps that helps a little. And so you can try different aspects of, you know, doing your landscape, but this is just one way of approaching it. Thanks for stopping by.